What is up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be looking at Stray Kids with, again, the name that I just don't know how to say because it's in Korean. Either way, I'm super excited to see this video because I looked at it on my premiere already. I thought the video is going to be very interesting to look at, and I'm very curious what it has in hold for all of us to analyze. I do want to apologize very quickly from the start. My microphone has a bit of an issue. There's some sort of static interference that I just don't know how to solve at the moment. I'm in contact with the company that produces this microphone. I hope they come back to me with a solution. But for now, we are going to live with a very minor static sound. And I just want to say, before we get into the video, like always, if you have any recommendations of videos you want me to look at in the near future, then just put them in the comments below. That's the best way for me to find out what you want me to review. And like always as well, if you do enjoy the content you see, then just make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and of course, make sure that you join the community and leave your feedback down below. But let's not waste any more time and let's jump right into Stray Kids with the song that I just don't know how to say. And I know I could Google it, but I bet one of you guys do know the answers down below as well. So leave it down. Before we get into the video itself, I will already say that I'm really curious what it has to hold, and I did not watch the video yet, but I also want to say I love the ratio. I love this 21:9 ratio aspect. I think it's great. It fits my monitor, and I would just say let's see what this video has in hold for us all together, no? We already saw this in the teaser as well. The same effects, the same drawings actually. Okay, before we continue, that looks amazing. I'm always a big fan of hand-drawn artistic ways of things being done. I think this looks great, and on top of that, they also included it on his face. It looks fantastic, just very powerful. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of these fireballs flying around, in all honesty. I don't know if it's possible to create blue fire at all. I'm not sure about that, I'll be honest. But I just want to say that it looks really cool as a shot by itself. The fire just looks a little bit out of place because it doesn't really interfere with the 3D surroundings. It just looks like it's floating around in a really awkward place. For example, here, is it close to his body or is it close to the camera? It doesn't really mix well with the bokeh that we see. Beautiful transition here. Using this man, and he's holding something long in his back, and they're using that as a transition phase to the next shot. Very nice with the lightning there on beat. Very cool. Beautiful wide shots. I already want to point this out as well, that with Stray Kids, one thing that I notice is that the shots are always nice and wide. That means you see a lot of things happening from the sides, from the entire member group, and of course the extra dancers if we see any, of course. They're always good with their videos in that sense. Isn't that the same location where they shot with August D? It really looks like the same location. This is exactly the same location as August D. With Deshiwa, I don't know which one, but that's exactly the same location. Wait, did they use... what? They're using the smoke as a transition element? Awesome. What? One sec, how did they do that? Okay, we have one shot, and then all of a sudden there's going to be another shot. You can see that these are two different shots completely, and then they masked out the other members, I would propose, or suppose, and then they used a smoking effect on top of them to make them appear. It looks fantastic either way. Really nice transition, very different from what I saw in any K-pop video so far. Awesome shot there. You know, I love these kind of shots. On beat, but then by every beat you reveal something else in the video. Dun, 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 dun. Great. They're really using these wide angles. Like you can see that this is, I don't know what millimeter in all honesty, but it's super wide because you can see that slowly you're losing some of the details because these really wide angles lenses, they lose detail slowly on the edges, and the most focused and the most detailed parts are in the middle. But here you can see it's less sharp, but it's okay. It's a really weird story to follow though so far. It's jumping between modern, old school, modern. I must say that's one thing I still like about Stray Kids. They have these elements where they're using the choreography as something bigger than just themselves. They always try to touch themselves and make the choreography bigger by combining them, all of them together, all of the members together. That was cool, no? It's like the mouths are moving. Fantastic. I want to give a little bit of my critic here. I'm not a fan of the cars being in every shot. I don't know why, but I'm just getting lost a little bit with the storytelling because I know that Stray Kids and cars, there's a meaning behind it. I get that fully, so don't get angry for me saying this, but if we're looking at the storytelling a bit, everyone else is dressed as they're prehistoric, as if they're part of the region, as if, you know, these kind of cars don't exist in this world really. But then these cars are in the background and it gives a bit of a confused message. So I don't really understand why they have to be there. Is it because they're forced to be there? Or maybe someone does know the answer. Maybe the answer is in the lyrics. But for now, I think it's a bit of a missed concept there. For example, the red is there, but the red is very popping, and I'm more looking at the car rather than the people themselves or the members of Stray Kids. You see? Everything is very nice, very warm colors, and then you have this very harsh red in the background. It's a bit of a miss for me. Like, it all looks fantastic. I still think some of the shots are... It's a little bit too much happening because it seems as if they weren't really focused on what the story should be about. I have a feeling they want to go a little bit prehistoric. They want to go a little bit modern. They want to have a little bit of Stray Kids in there. And they weren't really sure what they were going for. I'm just getting a very confused story. And also on top of that, I just want to say that for the choreography point, I'm getting a little bit lost at times because it seems like they want to show the choreography, but then they just edit away and then you're like, okay, we're not going to see all of it. It's a little bit of a... It's a lot of zoom in, zoom outs into elements where I'm like, okay, but is that really needed? Yeah, it looks cool, but for example, let's go back here. You see, we're focusing a little bit more on the group, okay? We see everyone. And then it just zooms in to this other member, which doesn't really add anything to it. You basically lose all the other members where they're sitting on top of. I think it would have looked better if they just kept it wide and beautiful to look at, rather than just zooming in pointlessly at another member that doesn't really add anything to the video. Okay, so this is Stray Kids. Anything else going to happen? Is there going to be another MV? Okay, so now we saw the MV. Now let's analyze it. So with this particular song of Stray Kids, I just want to say I think they did a fantastic job with just making sure that the elements are there. However, combining all the elements in a beautiful flow, I felt very lost with this video. I think some of the elements, some of the cuts, some of the transitions, some of the things that are happening in this video, they don't really add a big purpose to the entire storytelling. I think they're put in purpose purely to just show off that they can edit, and it's a bit of a sad story. I mean, if we look at, for example, Backdoor, and we look at Stray Kids with Backdoor, okay, let's call it like that, there's a very nice transition from shot to shot to shot to shot, while here everything is just bouncing around from location to location. And I'm like, okay, but did we see any of the locations properly? Did we get a nice overview of where everything is taking place? Yeah, we saw that some of the locations we've seen in other MVs as well, but we're not really getting a great insight in where they actually are. I feel it's very claustrophobic. I feel like they had very tight spaces to do everything, and that might be the case, but it would have been nice if there were some bigger shots than just the members themselves. In other words, if there was maybe an overview shot showing all the ground, showing all the locations, it would have helped this video a little bit more and making it a little bit more open, because like I say, it feels a little bit claustrophobic. It feels like everything is tight on top of each other. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you guys don't agree, but that's how I feel at the moment with the song. I think they could have gone a little bit more in the sense of not wider shots, but from higher with a drone or something, just to open up the field a little bit, show a little bit more of where everything takes place, because at the moment, like I say, it's all a little bit cramped on top of each other, and that also includes with the editing. But now the question is, what do you guys actually think of their new MV? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Put it down in the comments below. I still love Stray Kids. I think the song itself is fantastic. I just think the video is a little bit of a miss, especially with the video. So yeah, maybe next time it will be better. But then again, I still am a big fan of Backdoor. I think that MV is fantastic. It's a shame they didn't really take some elements from there, because they had some great big revealing shots, while here everything, like I say, is a little bit too tight on top of each other. But yeah guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you did enjoy the video, like always, just make sure you put your comments down below on what you want me to review next. And like always as well, please make sure you hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, and of course make sure to be part of the next video and premiere. But I'll catch you on the next video, and I'll see you then.